Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about the use of AI, specifically in an artistic sense, because there has been a trend going around. Well, I'm a little bit late to this topic, but nonetheless, there has been a trend going around of people using ChatGPT to generate their photos in a particular artistic way that this particular artist has been working his whole life to establish as his trademark style, right? Now, before we get into that really quick, it is really hot slash humid where I'm filming right now, and that's basically because, well, this is the place with the best natural light, and so that's why I'm sitting here. And yes, there is a fan above my head, except it makes the most amount of noise in the world, so I don't really plan on turning it on. A little demonstration, you may be asking. So while yes, the gust of wind is really nice, for me to feel any wind, I have to put it on the highest setting. This is the highest setting, and it is so noisy. Is it refreshing? Yes. Is it also obnoxiously loud? Yes. So I'm not turning that on. So let's hope I can get this done pretty quickly, and also let's hope that the sweat on my face is glistening and glowing and I look dewy and not sweaty. Yeah. So I don't know if you've been online in the past few months or something like that. If you have, then you probably know what I'm about to talk about, and if you haven't, well, basically everyone has been using ChatGPT to recreate their photos as Studio Ghibli style. And you might be thinking, oh, that's such a cute trend. No, I don't agree with the trend at all. And that's basically why I wanted to talk about it. This trend has been going on for a little while now. I don't know if it's still as popular as it was like in March, but you know, I wanted to talk about it nonetheless because this topic is quite crucial for just everything upcoming, like even upcoming films and stuff. It brings up the question of like, are humans even necessary anymore? It also puts a huge question on, is what we're doing ethical? Now, when this trend first came along, I didn't take part in this trend because somewhere as a creative myself, I felt a little bit like we were basically, I don't know the exact word for it. I think it's artistic integrity or artistic property, whatever, all of which belonged to Hayao Miyazaki. We are just sort of taking it and ruining it, right? And I wanted to talk about this topic in particular because Studio Ghibli, not even Studio Ghibli, animation at its crux is literally one of my favorite mediums to watch anything. And yes, I know in the West, so on the Hollywood side of things, animation is seen very much as a very childish thing. A lot of animated movies that come from the West or animated shows that come from the West are catered towards children, but that has never bothered me and that has never stopped me. I watch pretty much everything. If it's animation, chances are I'm going to watch it, right? So I love animated shows, I love like cartoons, I love anime from Japan, and by default, I love Studio Ghibli. Now, my first interaction to Studio Ghibli was actually a little bit later on in life. Obviously, I'm not Japanese. I did not grow up with Studio Ghibli, but I discovered it when I was in year 7, when I was about, what, how old are you in year 7? I think I was like about 13, 12, turning 13. Anywho, I remember that day very clearly. I was actually in my English class and we were actually studying Studio Ghibli. We were basically breaking down 2 Studio Ghibli films. So we were breaking down Howl's Moving Castle and Spirited Away. And that was my first ever introduction to Studio Ghibli. And I remember watching the films in class and just being like, oh my god. Oh my god. For a multitude of reasons. First of all, as someone who grew up in Australia, a lot of the animation I had seen involved, you know, very kiddish, childish things, and it was so refreshing to see animation where there was actually like metaphors and really convoluted stories with subtext. But at the end of the day, the end of Studio Ghibli films, there's always a key message that you take with you, and it's a very wholesome experience. Not only is it an absolute delight for your eyes and you're watching the film and you're like, oh my god, this is visually stunning, you're also enjoying absolutely amazing voice acting, and the soundtrack and score in the background is also phenomenal. So basically, when all of these things merge together, they basically create a masterpiece. And this is exactly what Hayao Miyazaki has worked his whole life to create, right? Studio Ghibli is his child, essentially. And he is so against the use of AI, especially in art, that he has quoted in a 2016 clip. So this clip is not directly in response to ChatGPT Studio Ghibli trend that was going on, but in relation to AI generated work in general, because he was not just talking about ChatGPT, he was talking about in his case 3D animation as well, and also just the use of computer graphics and the use of technology to create his work. And he basically, and I quote, called it an insult to life. End quote.
と思って見ることできないですよ。これを作る人たちは痛みとかそういうものについてね、何も考えないでやってるでしょ。極めて不愉快ですよね。そんなに気持ち悪いものをやりたいなら勝手にやってればいいだけで、僕はこれを自分たちの仕事をつなげたいとは全然思いません。極めて何か生命に対する侮辱を感じます。
He says that his studio is based on humanity and not algorithms, and I think that really hits true to his work. I mean, if you have seen even a single Studio Ghibli film, you will understand that it was made by people. The amount of just raw emotion and feeling, and I mean, the fact that we all as individuals have found, like, I mean, I'm sure if you've seen a Studio Ghibli film, there has been some element to it to which you relate to, regardless of not being Japanese. Like, Studio Ghibli is honestly, some of my favorite films have come from there. My first introduction was obviously Spirited Away and Howl's Moving Castle, but that introduction led me to discover more. It ignited this curiosity inside of me, which made me go, oh shit, I need to see more of this work. And then I went on a Googling spree. I was like, who is the man behind this? I discovered his name is Hayao Miyazaki, and I also found out I have the same personality type as him. Woo. But I was just completely taken over by his work. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this in particular is, even though the ChatGPT AI Ghibli trend has died down a little bit, I recently started seeing videos online of AI being used to make full-on movie trailers.
They typed in a movie trailer featuring the adventurers of the 30-year-old spaceman wearing a red wool knitted motorcycle helmet, blue sky, salt desert, cinematic style, shot on 35mm film. And the close-ups of his face, the fabrics on the helmet, the film grain through every shot, and the cinematic style, this is one of the most convincing AI-generated videos I've ever seen.
And then that also got me thinking, what is the point of people in the creative industry anymore? Because when I watched that trailer, it looked like a legit film trailer. And I remember thinking to myself in that moment, why are we using AI to do this stuff? I mean, we have humans who have worked their whole lives to be in films and TV, and now we're just going to take it away because, oh, AI can do it quicker and for cheaper. You know what I mean? This is what absolutely boggles my mind, because there's an element of humanity that AI just can't touch, right? And that comes through when you watch something on the internet and then you discover it's like an AI generated video. Your brain automatically switches off. And the way you can tell is obviously their lips don't match, their expressions are weird, they have a bit of an uncanny valley look to them as well. And so And we notice that just in TikTok videos and reels. So can you imagine watching full-length feature films all made by AI? I think that would be absolutely shit, and it would turn my brain into mush. And I feel like it's such an insult to actors, to cinematographers, to the lighting people. Like, if you go onto a set, you discover just how many people are necessary for even the smallest of things, right? Even for the smallest of tasks, you need a whole bunch of people. Continuity is really important. All of these things are things that we as humans are able to create because we have been trained and we work hard to be in that field, and it's a field that we are passionate about. I think that's the biggest difference between AI and humanity, is it doesn't matter how close AI gets to being like humans or creating content that could fool a human. There is a level of passion that just isn't there in AI created work, right? So that goes back to Hayao Miyazaki as well. He is so passionate about the stories he tells, about the work he does. I mean, to some extent, he doesn't even support 3D animation, which I'm all for. Ever since 3D animation has been taking over everything recently, and a lot of times that's why I go back to watching Studio Ghibli films, because I miss hand-drawn 2D animation, right? Like old Disney films, they have that charm and they have that appeal because they're hand-drawn. Whereas nowadays a lot of Disney films are just, they're all 3D computer generated animation, which is good. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Obviously we know it's cheaper and it takes less time to produce because you have less people working on it, but there's also that sense of charm that comes from a hand-drawn 2D animation that you just cannot replicate. And that's frankly why this trend pissed me off. I remember seeing this trend and thinking, oh my god, if I was Hayao Miyazaki or if Studio Ghibli was my doing, I would be pissed that people are just fucking putting their photos on ChatGPT and being like, create this Studio Ghibli style, and then in 2 seconds flat they get a photo in Studio Ghibli style. Like, as if that wouldn't absolutely rot your brain. And I just think that we as humans, although AI is very beneficial and it helps a lot of people, I feel like nowadays people are maybe relying on it too much. And especially artistically. But same could also be said for students in school. I've heard these days everybody just uses ChatGPT to write their essays, which, you know, thank God I'm not in school while that's happening. I mean, you can use chat, if you have like 3 ingredients in your fridge, you can use ChatGPT to tell you what dinner you should have using those ingredients. That's where I think it's really helpful. It should be used as a way to aid and assist our lives. It should not be used as a way to completely remove the purpose of a person's life altogether. What I'm trying to say is that Studio Ghibli is the passion and the work, the hard work of a man, and somewhere I think it's just flat out unfair and rude to be using ChatGPT and AI to basically replicate the style of work that he has worked his whole life to create. Overall, I just want to say that I have nothing against ChatGPT in particular. I know it helps a lot of people. I know it's really beneficial to people. I do not think we should be using ChatGPT to take away the livelihoods of a lot of people. I mean, filmmakers and actors and like cinematographers, everyone, this whole industry is already struggling as it is. People are struggling to find work. There's hardly anything being made, especially on the Western side of things. It's so hard, and people are overworked and underpaid in that sector, especially in the animation sector. And you hear countless stories of animators from like Disney complaining that they have so much work to do but not enough time, or they don't get enough money for the amount of work that they do. And when you hear these things, in my brain, all I think of is, okay, we should be finding ways to make it better for these people. Because we as a society, we love entertainment, but if there's nobody to create that entertainment, what do we do? And obviously people would say turn to AI, but again, like I said, there's no level of AI that could replace the human touch in anything, especially media, especially storytelling. I don't think AI can ever tell a story the way that a human could tell a story. They can get real close, but I don't think they could ever get it right, because they don't have that emotion, they don't have the passion, they don't have the connection to telling the story that humans have when they tell a story. Like, when was the last time you sat down with someone and you were just listening to them like talk about something that they're passionate about? Do you see the excitement in their eyes? Do you see the way their face lights up and the way they get so like happy to tell you because you are listening to them talk about something that they love? Do you see that on someone's face? You can't replicate that through AI. So in my humble opinion, while the ChatGPT Studio Ghibli trend was cute, yeah, at best it was cute, overall I think people like, I'm glad that the trend has died down, but even when it first came out, I remember thinking people should just not partake in this. And it wasn't just regular folk, it was like celebrities partaking in this trend as well. I don't know, I just wanted to sit down and talk about that with you guys, because I haven't seen anyone online specifically talking about this topic, and it's a topic that has been playing on my mind a lot recently, and I haven't really seen many people discussing this online, so I thought I would. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Also, let me know what other video ideas I should make next, if you have any. And yeah, that's it for this week's video. I'll see you guys all next time. Bye!